and recognition. So many of these studies have been done over the years. When you ask staff what's important to them, what motivates them, what you get is usually something like this: a sense of accomplishment, recognition, career advancement, management support, salary. When you ask managers, what do you think motivates your staff? You get pretty much the opposite. They put salary first, they put these things first, and then they put this further down the list. That's a classic disconnect that happens so often. And so this is reinforcing that many managers could get a lot more mileage and a lot more energy out of finding creative ways to bring a sense of celebration, recognition, appreciation, to re-energize the organization. So again, in this particular principle, if we come back to this one, we'll be getting deeper into some of these discussions around how can we do that. And the last part of this principle that I touched on earlier, which I'll come back to in a little more depth now, is this chart, which is on page 190 of your book, the Leader's Digest book. And again, it's a management and leadership chart. And we need both. All of these charts are not about either or, it's about finding the right balance. And many times we're overemphasized on the management side. So here we're speaking to the head, as we talked about earlier. This is the heart. This oftentimes is one-way giving of information, sending out information, broadcasting information, lots of dumping of information. Whereas over here, it's much more about conversations. And sometimes they're the difficult conversations, the courageous conversations, the moose on the table kinds of conversations. But it's making sure we have lots more of those conversations going on. Over here, we're heavy on facts and analysis and results. Over here, we're emphasizing and using more values and stories and ways of trying to really make sense out of all of this stuff. And why is it important? So this tends to be highly written, and these days it's very digital, whether it's email, intranet sites, policies, rules. A lot of it is on the written side. Over here, it's primarily verbal. How do we connect with the heart? It's usually through the discussions. It's pretty hard, unless you're a really exceptionally good writer, to really engage people with an email, really get their heart, right? Get them really excited, and because it's better, it's a tool for this stuff. It's a great tool for this stuff, but it's much harder to do some of the leadership stuff with that tool. Here is a lot of focus on quantity. Here it's about help me make sense out of all of this. Help me figure out what's important and why and what we need to do and so on. Again, here it can be great for updates and so on, but this is much more about building through that dialogue, through the discussion, through values, stories. It's much more about building that sense of community and communion and team in the organization. So those are the main elements around this principle: is servant leadership, recognition, and the celebration and appreciation, and the communication side.